There is much more to this Diddy trial than simply another celebrity controversy. The media is now in full swing. What started when Cassie courageously spoke out about her traumatic history has grown into something nobody could have predicted. It's not your typical Hollywood tea.
Hello there, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
We are going to hear from Cassie this week, along with another witness named Jane. They said we're going to see videos of these freak-offs, and it's going to be very uncomfortable.
He was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
I had Cassie and Sean. Basically, they told me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business, because what they would do is Sean.
And it'd be like, matter of fact, that they sent me the girl. It's like picture of this girl, like, not the y'all saw. Worse.
We're talking about names that will leave you stunned, courtroom shockers, and released audio. The case has taken a wild turn. Insiders are speculating that things have gotten dangerous. Extremely intense audio tapes are now involved. And these aren't just dull phone conversations. These are explicit recordings, with names like Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill getting dragged into it. Initially, it appeared that the entire matter was about Cassie's claims that Diddy controlled her life and hosted wild, creepy parties. According to one insider, the audio was so graphic and unsettling that the entire courtroom froze. These tapes are being played in court. It all began with that shaky hotel video which had no sound and only blurry footage. People thought that was the high point, but behind those courtroom doors, things got much darker. No one was allowed to record and phones were prohibited.
We need a 50-foot bed.
I mean, TD Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Khaled, we talk about heavy hitters.
Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the
Israel Flores. He's a police officer for LAPD, but more notably is before he used to work for Securitas, and he had worked at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City in California. So when they were talking about March 5th of 2016, this witness, who again was for the government, he got a call about a woman in distress on the 6th floor of this hotel. And so he says during his testimony, he had observed a male and a female in the lobby. He recognized that this male was Sean Combs. And so at the time he was working as the assistant director for the Intercontinental Hotel. So, his responsibilities were to respond to incidents, train trainees pretty much. And then he later on became the director. And that's kind of important, mainly because it kind of controlled what he was and wasn't able to do when it came to this surveillance video. So for example, as an assistant director, he wasn't able to rewind it past a certain time frame. He wasn't even able to download it or even download this video to attach onto the incident report or anything like that. So again, he was serving as an assistant director in that capacity at the time that this incident had occurred. When they were talking about the surveillance video, Officer Flores was talking about how every floor of the hotel had cameras. They were motion activated cameras, by the way. Again, they had the capacity to rewind and download these types of videos, but only the director of security was able to do so, and he didn't take over that role until later on. But as far as him writing up incidents reports, because we got to see that exhibit was we got to see the exhibit of the incident report from that day in 2016. So before he responded to the call, he said he looked at the cameras, he saw a black man pacing back and forth. Then when he arrived onto the 6th floor, he saw Diddy, or Sean Combs, in a towel, and then saw Cassie in the corner covering her face. He said he didn't know it was Cassie immediately. He just pretty much recognized Diddy. He said that Diddy's demeanor, and this is a pretty interesting point, Jesse, was a blank stare, and said it was a devilish stare. Diddy at this point is still in his hotel, is still in his towel. He's still wearing socks. Another interesting point is that they refer to Cassie as Cece, but that she was pretty much scared and frightened, according to Officer.
Things became even more bizarre immediately after that explosive audio played in court. A new list of witnesses was released, and this isn't just a list of people vying for influence. These are people who were once part of Diddy's inner circle, former employees, artists, and partygoers. Some of these people are finally coming forward, protected by the law. One of those voices is Dawn Richard, who you may recognize from Danity Kane, the girl group Diddy used to manage.
2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Yes, she was attacked by Sean and kicked. Did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. The government then shows Dawn Richard a picture of Diddy Dirty Money. When were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, "Where the F is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She was in a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body and then dragged her up to the first floor. Glass was breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene?
Cassie was forced to allow an escort to in her mouth at one point, and this was per the instructions of Sean Combs. The other witness, Jane, is going to testify that she and Diddy got into an altercation where he allegedly stomped on her face and that she would run into every single room, lock the door, he would chase after her and kick the door down. And it was very graphic.
She took the stand, and when she left the courtroom, she looked completely spent. According to insiders, her testimony supported Cassie's story, claiming that she saw Diddy beat her because dinner wasn't ready on time. The following day, he allegedly told Dawn and her bandmate to keep their mouths shut. Then the moment hit hard. Diddy's daughters left the courtroom looking pale and silent, not even looking at the camera. Those in the room said that this happened immediately after the tape was played, and their reaction was so chilling that it made the entire courtroom feel even heavier. Finally, Will Smith's name was heard clearly, directly from the court audio.
Did you call the police? No. The next day, what happened? He said it had been passionate and she was okay, and that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. How did you understand that? Death. Diddy's team then yells objection. Then the judge calls a sidebar and ends her testimony for the day. But Dawn Richard will be back on Monday to give the rest of her full testimony against Diddy. Right before they brought Dawn Richard in, they actually had a Homeland Security agent.
Since Combs has officially been charged and he's locked up behind bars, there have been a lot of videos that have been surfacing, particularly online. And one of those videos is the interrogation of a man named Jonathan Oddie. Now, this is a strange one, maybe some would say, an odd one. See what I did right there? So I want you to stay with me. So we go back to 2018, and Jonathan Oddie allegedly went into the Trump National Doral Miami Hotel and Resort in the middle of the night and ostensibly went on a rampage. The state attorney's office says that Oddie fired shots in the lobby and toward the chandelier, then giant American flag across the front desk. There was a shootout when Miami police got to the scene, and Oddie was shot in the leg and tried to hide, but he was taken into custody.
The internet went crazy, with people searching through previous interviews, recreating every embarrassing moment between Will and Diddy, and bringing up earlier times that now seem very suspect. This wasn't just any rumor, it was directly related to what was played in that courtroom. Then Jaguar Wright appeared, followed by a smart joke from comic Lunel that suggested they could be more than just buddies.
Testify against Diddy about when they came and arrested him to take him to jail. So let's go ahead and get into that. The government asked, when Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt Hotel, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a picture to the jury of his hotel suite, and what did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items and then signed them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil.
She also said that the freak-off videos that we're going to see, they were not actually seized during the March 2024 raid of his homes. These actually came from Cassie, and the defense, their entire strategy here is that Diddy is guilty of domestic violence, but he is not on trial for that.
He had previously discussed this, but no one paid much attention until now. Then things became even more messy when Will's former assistant, Brother Bilal, came forward with shocking allegations that he personally witnessed Will and actor Dwayne Martin having a private moment that wasn't intended for the public to see. Whether or not people believed him, the story quickly gained notoriety, and Bilal even claimed he had never been sued for it because, in his own words, the Smiths know I'm telling the truth. Llewellyn supported this, stating that Will and Dwayne Martin were much closer than people had previously thought. Suddenly, every old picture or video of Will and Diddy hanging out became suspicious.